Yeah?
Yeah.
Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate on PlayStation 4. Now, this is the like the director's cut type version of Warriors Orochi 3, a game that I played on Wii U when the Wii U was launched, which I think is nearly 2 years ago now, which is slightly shocking. Obviously, the third game in the Warriors Orochi series, which is itself a spin-off of the everlasting Dynasty Warriors series, which has been around since the dawn of time and seems to release a new game about every 2 months. Regular listeners to this show will know that I am not a huge fan of these games, but their seemingly ridiculous popularity among people whose opinions that I respect has made me try and look at them in a slightly more positive light than I used to. Made easier by the fact that this is clearly the most technically accomplished technically accomplished Warriors game that I've played, thanks to the heft of the PS4, meaning that it kind of looks like a mid-range PS3 game. Warriors Orochi 3 is a much dafter version of these types of games than many. It's involving big mythical creatures and fantasy more than the Chinese Dynasty and all that sort of stuff, which is what the other ones are all about. So instantly it's a bit more appealing to me than the other ones. But the gameplay is the same. Run into a group of a million identical dudes, kick them all up in the air, switch to another guy, now that's the game. Go to the red dot on the map, kill everyone, and do that until the end of the level. And there's always stuff on the screen and different ways of leveling up and new weapons, and there's a blacksmith here and a kind of hub world. There's all this stuff that's complicated, and I'm sure that people who really like these games will get into all these systems. But for the life of me, I can't see what difference it makes, because all you need to do is just run and hit the square button and you just smack everyone up. But I've had more fun in this version of this one, because the Warriors Orochi 3 on Wii U, when the Wii U launched, was a technical mess. It had terrible frame rate issues. It was a dog to play, and I didn't enjoy it at all. Whereas this is a super smooth frame rate. You still get some pop-in and stuff like that, but the vastness of the armies that you're taking on actually feels impressive for once. It don't look great because they're just kind of facing in any old direction. They're just cut and paste models, but they're not popping in 2 inches in front of you like all those other games. So it actually looks like you're wading into a giant, massive bodies, and you don't have to kind of suspend your disbelief that much. So there's that degree of fun to be had in that. One of the systems in this game, which I would be lying if I knew was in another game, but I'm pretty sure is just specific to this game, is that you can kind of chain you have a team of 3, but you can chain swapping between them if you press the swap button exactly as you hit.
Oh.
So you create this like quite satisfying chain, and every single time it is accompanied by a flash of light and a more powerful move. And so you're doing that. I'm not 100% sure if that's what you're supposed to do, but it seemed to be more powerful and look cool and made a cool sound effect. So I'm pretty sure that is what you're supposed to do. There was mention of it in a text box, but the text was written in that kind of Japanese-ish that basically makes no sense. It had some button commands in it, but quite what it meant, I'm not sure. But the button commands allowed this to happen. So, yeah, I did a good few hours of the game getting through it like this. I didn't not enjoy myself, which is another way of saying I enjoyed myself. But I'm certainly no convert. It's not. I'm not going to be that guy. This is the most open-minded I've ever been about these games, and certainly the most I've ever enjoyed one of these games. It's been raved about by certain quarters. I understand that. I think clearly it's one of the best ones of this series. For those of that inclination, do I recommend it to those that have never played one of these games before? Probably not.